This is the remix. Got that boy Phase 2 on the track. With your boy R.A., JT, and you know it's Will B. Alright, the remix.
Well, I dress inexpensive.
Hip-hop.
Indie.
Like our race, right?
Oh, Kyle.
Black,
like,
right?
yeah, we're black people.
We're black people.
Well, people who rich try to act black, we don't do that. We fire on them.
Probably ever since the beginning of time, people have been trying to move up in terms of class. I think the thing that's interesting right now is this thing about moving down in terms of class.
Dressing ghetto usually means that they're stronger people.
There's good music, you get women, there's drugs, there's fame.
Ghetto industry now is making it seem like living in the ghetto is fabulous when it's not. It really isn't. If you lived in, like, a day in the life of someone who actually lived in the ghettos, you wouldn't like it.
What starts a trend like people wearing baggier clothing is they're seeing people in the media, or they're seeing people that are culturally relevant that are wearing a certain, they're wearing a certain type of clothing. They aspire to participate in that look, or in that lifestyle, or in that way of interacting with their peers.
There's an impression that they're more passionate, they're dangerous, the things they're going through. And the idea of a rebel is someone that has disowned the constrictions of middle class or upper class lifestyle. And so there's an appeal to leave those boundaries.
I think trends start out by sort of somebody making a statement that is possibly a rebellious statement, and suddenly by his statement it becomes kind of a few other people kind of catch on to it, and it gets the ball rolling, and suddenly it's this mainstream thing, and Tommy Hilfiger's doing, a whole line of this stuff, and suddenly everybody's dressing this way.
I look at those people and just laugh, because if they ask me, like, they're the joke.
I think the origins of dress is kind of important. The kids with the hat turned backwards, or the hairnet, or the baggy pants. I mean, the baggy pants, I think, stems initially from kind of like prison culture, from prison dress. The hat turned backwards is for the people picking in the fields to keep the sun off the back of their neck. The hairnet is those guys who came out of the canning factories and forgot to get changed.
I'm the archivist for the law school. So I am in charge of a collection that documents the history at the University of California. Plugs were top hats that were worn by upperclassmen at Berkeley. Plugs began life as regular hats, but then they were painted by the students to indicate something about the student themselves. There's also a socioeconomic thing that comes in here with the hats, because after they were painted, they were then stomped on, sat on, crushed. And that's how they were worn. You were taking an object that sort of symbolized upper classes in America at that time, the man's top hat, and you were bashing it down to look like something that a hobo might wear. We think it had something to do with uneasiness about class status.
One of the easiest ways for people to participate in a lifestyle and for people to redefine themselves is through what they wear.
I'm middle class, but I don't like it at all. I dress like this because it's like your class shouldn't represent who you are as a person.
I came from a very middle class background, and I couldn't always afford what the cool people were wearing. At the time it was alligator shirts. And I always had the tiger shirts, but it was like the notch down, and it always just sucked that I had to wear these tiger shirts, and like all the cool people had the alligator shirts on.
It's all lower class right here.
A lot of people in upper class try to dress down sometimes, but then they're wearing LRG, which is hell of expensive.
You never really change your class. You can't change where you were born.
Some people do imitate though. Yes, some people do imitate and try to play the role.
In a community that's predominantly suburban, a way of differentiating yourself as an individual is to dress differently.
I feel like a lot of people use style of clothes to, kind of say who they are here. Now they actually do think that they're that person, and really they're not even close,
It's a way to embrace another genre or another lifestyle other than your own.
We're confident in our middle class status. So we're going to rebel against the way our parents want us to look or everybody else looks. We're going to dress ghetto.
There are role models that you're seeing in media and in the culture where sort of the gangster has a lot of power. I could see where there'd be an aspiration for that that kind of respect. In many cases, the reality of the life that's lived is very different than the way the media is presenting it.
When they perform rap music, and they're performing an identity that they know privileged and middle class, upper class, whites and others are looking at it.
I think you are what you are. I mean, you can project a front that comes off as successful for a while, but I don't know how long can you keep that up.
Let me hear you holler. Yeah. And then pop your collar. Come on. I'm giving a call to the wild. Where are my thugs at? Yo, where all my hustlers at? I'm spreading love all over the map. Bounce your elbows, low lows, lift the back, hit the 3-wheel. East Coast riders ride spree wheel. Down south, get your syrup and lace your gill. All the women, pop that thing for real. Drop game, we all players. In Atlanta free will, all coast sip penny. Straight out the fifth, all